Hey everybody, I am spending some time today in a listing that I have in the Mint Hill area, and we're doing an open house today on Saturday and then tomorrow on Sunday. Saturday open houses I usually run from 1 to 3, Sunday open houses I usually run from 2 to 4, but I am doing this one today. My firm does not believe in dual agency, so we actually ask our other agents to run open houses for us. Therefore, one of my mentees, Terry, is doing tomorrow's open house from 2 to 4. So the address 10306 Roundhouse Circle. But I wanted to come on here for a little bit to talk about investment and wealth. I am a closet numbers dork. So yes, I have an English degree and I read and I write research papers and I love to debate and I read a lot. But I enjoy dissecting numbers. So I posted on, I believe it was Instagram this week, about a conversation that we had with Dr. Lawrence Yun, who is the head of the National Association of Realtors, and some of the graphs and the predictions that he gave us that were really powerful to me. The biggest of that being that we have just spent, 3-4 months in this economic on hold is what I'm going to call it. I don't call it a crisis because people are still making their payments. And they're still being able to buy food for the most part. It's not like we're standing in bread lines like we were during the Depression that my dad talks about, or used to talk about all the time. So I feel like this is an economic on hold. What does that have to do with my open house today in Mint Hill? If you have ever thought of buying, investing, selling, whatever, now is the time. Interest rates are literally at 2.85. And the question is, they could potentially go down even lower. Some of the graphs that Dr. Yun was showing us show that there's an opportunity for the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, even on mortgage interest, down even a little bit lower. Here's the interesting part. It's not going to stay that way forever because the government just printed a ton of money through the Federal Reserve to pay all those $1,200 checks. That debt, our national debt is up to $4-point-something trillion. That debt is not being bought by any entity. That debt is being bought by the Federal Reserve, AKA the Federal Reserve is just printing money. I was a child of the 90s. I know what it's like to go through an opportunity where the Federal Reserve just prints money. That creates inflation. So we won't see the effects of inflation for another 2 years or so. So what happens in those 2 years? Well, the Federal Reserve is going to try to correct that. They're going to try to sell the debt. They're going to try to do a lot of things so that we don't have to create inflation. But if we do, you're going to see interest rates go from 2.8 right now to closer to 6 or 7%. I just spoke with an investor this morning who is doing a loan as an investor with an agency that doesn't have bank backing. They have individual fund backing. And their interest rates are 7% because they're not backed by a federal bank. So interesting ideas. And if you can dream it, we can figure it out. But the point is that real estate and investment create wealth. You know that, right? Like the only way to get wealth is to buy things, especially things that offer you investment opportunities. So when you put money into real estate, whether it's a home that you live in or one that you rent out, you automatically have things like tax write-offs. You automatically have asset allocation. You automatically have capital stuff. So you are creating capital. You have equity that you can borrow on if need be, or just leave until you need to use the equity. The point is that the only way that you really increase your wealth is if you begin to think about owning things. So home ownership is step one in increasing wealth. And we're actually going to do a whole series of this through YouTube. We're going to do some conversations about how to increase wealth, how to invest, what to look for, what does real estate investing look like, how does that improve your bottom line in the end, and we're going to break it down into terms that are easy to digest and understand. But today, the purpose of this open house is to get this beautiful listing under contract. And this, in my opinion, is the type of listing for a buy hold. You have two investment opportunities in real estate, really. You have a buy flip, a buy sell, or a buy hold. I have done a lot of work with unaffordable housing, especially in Charlotte, especially in downtown Charlotte. And the idea that people don't make enough money to afford housing in downtown Charlotte or in surrounding areas. So buy hold is my favorite form of investing because I think it offers an opportunity for us to create affordable housing for people who need it. So if you consider how much people make in a month, how much they make a year, and how much housing costs in Charlotte, there's a huge disparity. It's impossible to work a 40-hour-a-week job in a family of 3 or 4 with at least one parent working, probably 2 parents working, and be able to afford rent in a lot of places in downtown Charlotte. And of course, you don't want your children to live in questionable, not well-kept areas. So it's really important to consider when you're making an investment, how am I going to handle that investment? Is it going to be a buy sell, a buy flip, or is it going to be a buy hold? So this particular property, in my opinion, is perfect for a buy hold. You could have renters move in here tomorrow, and rental properties are going to go through the roof, in my opinion, in the next 6 to 8 months, simply because if there are people who were behind on their mortgage or weren't able to pay for their mortgage or whatever the situation may be, they chose to get out of the house that they're in because of COVID. Maybe they want to downsize, maybe they want to lower their debt, whatever the case may be. You're going to see a lot of people looking for rentals. So this is the type of property you could have renters move in tomorrow and pay $1,400 to $1,500 a month for this property. It's about 1,400 square feet. It's 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So you could easily have a family of 4 that live here. It's Mint Hill School District, so it's great schools. It is downtown Mint Hill in a great area, super close to 485. So the family of 4 parents could work literally anywhere in town or on the outskirts of town. You can get anywhere from here in 45 minutes at the most. So a lot of great potential things here that make it easy for renting. And it is in the condition, it's in good condition on the bones of the structure. So the roof is less than 5 years old. The AC system is brand new. The plumbing system is about 5 years old. All of those kinds of things have been taken care of. And because of that, that creates an opportunity for this space to be turned around and put on a rental market really quick. There's not a whole lot of work to do. Cosmetically, if you were going to live here forever, you would want to do some things like handle that kitchen. It has tile countertops, custom, totally custom, from 10 years ago, and floral wallpaper. I don't like wallpaper. We'll just leave it at that. At any rate, it's a great opportunity for somebody to come in, bring a renter in, bring somebody in that wants to live here immediately, doesn't mind. It's in good physical condition for a rental. It might not be in great aesthetic condition. The other option is if you are looking to live somewhere like this, if you need that Mint Hill location close to 485, close to downtown, it is a do-it-yourselfer's dream. Because it's priced at a good point, and you can get in here and do the things that you want to it. So you can make the kitchen look the way that you want. If you want to totally revamp the kitchen, more power to you. But it's livable until you get those things done. So there's a lot of potential in this space, and I really look forward to somebody finding exactly what they want here. But you're not going to create wealth unless you look. So if you're looking for anything, whether it's a rental, if you want more information about that, if you're looking for anything in that area, or if you have a home that you think would be a great fit for that, I'd love to talk to you and discuss real estate in general, the market, the economics of it, any of those things. So there's message buttons at the bottom. Make sure you send me some messages, or you can always find me on social media. And I will talk to you soon. We'll talk more about investments soon. All right, see ya.